Let's dive in, man. B, I want to go into the state of men's health and nutrition, and we were talking about this before, bruh. B, before we dive in, because you have some stats. I got some.
I always got stats, man.
I know you do, but I know you do. But hey, before we go into this, I want to review what we just talked about, the nutrition versus nourishment. I think it's important for this conversation.
What's the difference?
I'm so happy you asked, B. So the difference is nutrition, which we're going to cover first. It refers to the science and practice of providing the body with essential nutrients that are needed for our development, for our functioning. Like I'm talking about body function, brain, heart, vascular system, all that, and development. Nourishment, on the other hand, is a broader term. So that's looking at food and other substances to support health, vitality, and overall well-being. All right, so let's just make sure we got that in line. B, let's rip off some statistics on the state of men's health. Let's bring it to the people, bro.
What do you got?
Environment around men's health, right? So the things that really stuck out to me is that 77 million more men than women have been estimated to have type 2 diabetes worldwide. That stat first, right? I was like, what the heck? Now, especially speaking on things that we've talked about before in light of the ways that people can reduce their risk for type 2 diabetes. I also saw in this, because they talked about the components around men's health, they specifically, this Medical Life Sciences organization, they said that men are more likely to use alcohol than women. And also excessive alcohol puts men at higher risk of developing oral, liver, colon, and prostate cancers, which is the leading cause of cancer for men. So this, like, those are the two stats that stuck out to me first, man. But I got a couple other ones. What you got, man?
Yeah, most of my stats are for the supplements, which we'll get in as we're talking about the supplements and everything like that with stats. But that one stat always sticks out to me, and if you came back to watch a couple of our episodes, you would notice that, and I still find it very fascinating that over 40% of men at the age of 40 have low testosterone, as far as like they have erectile dysfunction, and every year older they get, that goes up 1%. So by the time you're 70 years old, 70% of men have erectile dysfunction issues. And that's a direct correlation with low testosterone, coupled with mental, emotional, unresolved issues that you have going on in your life. That's fascinating for me, because, and the problem is usually erectile dysfunction, I shouldn't say beside mental, emotional issues, it's usually caused by a lack of blood flow. And Paul and I, we've talked about this in many episodes. If you have lack of blood flow in one area, you have lack of blood flow, heart area, brain, everywhere, all over. So
it's a bigger problem.
That statistic always, points out at me. It really sticks out at me.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up, because that brought up another set of statistics that I was like, what the heck? And this is going to cover some of the things that we're going to talk about with the nutritionists that are nutritionists. We're just coming up with words.
Nutritionists. Yeah,
we're coming up with some stuff, man. We're going to put that on a t-shirt. Listen, in alignment with what you said, B, listen to this. The prevalence of male infertility has increased by 77% globally since 1990. And recent evidence indicates that male factors alone are responsible for approximately 20 to 30% of all infertility cases.
Sure.
What the fuck? Dude, this other piece right here, right? Because it talked about, like what you just said, the erectile dysfunction, the testosterone imbalance, testicular cancer, which is actually, dude, I didn't look up the stats on that, but I can recall the stats on testicular cancer. Men are developing it younger now, bruh. Younger, even prostate cancer, bruh.
Yeah, it's been going through the roof too. Believe it or not, like I studied all on biogeometry and electronics and EMF stuff. I've done years of studying on this stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest causes out there, and a lot of people are going to be rolling their eyes, or they're going to probably, go off to the side and be like, whatever. But it's the